What is that? Rolling Hills,
Not the hills,
I guess Napa.
and then obviously water.
And water. Good. Good.
Yeah, really. All the stuff that's good for you out of red wine. All the stuff that's good for you out of wet red wine, but it's just the water and all. It's good stuff. Good. Red wine, like. Thank you, Father.
Well, everybody acts like. That's why it's really yesterday.
Doing nice, no.
This was
The audience, finding somebody else like.
I'm sorry. I just have such a problem. See how that's key.
This is monster.
I know.
Not doing this anymore. You gotta have something to do.
Right.
The record for the short meeting is 7 minutes.
Yeah. I would be fine with compared to 7 hours.
Yeah, we've done that. Not recently, but we have done that.
No, I think that's better. You let that daughter, yes.
Texted me.
Here's the total. And then. The text,
Yep.
The total amount was.
You didn't have this morning. I talked to him this morning.
That's probably why they texted me. I asked him about what they're getting to that.
He was guessing like around between 22 and 27,000. But he didn't, that's solid. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
But
That's wonderful.
that's wonderful. I was only about 10 grand.
Is it?
Plus some expensive flowers and things to make it get.
Yeah, that's
Eddie, you may have to speak on the calendar if they have questions. I forgot to mention that to you.
That's fine.
Okay.
You could have got out of there for that if you wanted to. You could have got out of there for that if you
Oh, I
wanted
could
to.
have. There was a few.
Hey, I appreciate you bid, Fred. You bid, I bid my wife on a few things there at the end.
Oh, did I say it again?
Yeah, you did.
Want mine back?
No, I'm good.
Blow up.
I think they said all sales are fine.
I'd already had money by the time we got to the White House.
I try to run it up a few times there, and sometimes I get stuck with a few things.
And somebody will.
I do. Sometimes you just gotta get it going. Yeah. 7 seconds to spare there, big guy. The guys are working on it, not on the fish.
Okay, I'd like to call the Jefferson Board of Directors meeting together. Will you please and join me in the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Dixie Rowe.
Here.
Fred Sotomayor.
Here.
Louis Robbins.
Here.
Carrie Colomati is excused. Jamie, our student rep, is not yet present. Kay Jones is present. We have a quorum. We move to item 3 on our agenda.
I move to accept the agenda as presented.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. We have a motion to approve the agenda as presented. So we'll have a vote if there's no discussion. Tracy?
KGAR, this golf course, amendment to that particular policy, what was the previous cost of that, or was that add, Brad, from the previous policy?
That's an ad.
Yeah, that's what I know, because I don't recall seeing it on there before, but I couldn't.
We have as you know, we have a board, but we have some people that want to come and.
Yep, understand, we gotta be able to maintain that equipment, repair it as necessary and so on, so, okay. No further questions for me.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I have a question. Well, that's a concern, really. I know there's a lot of low income families in the district. Of course, we've spoken that several times. So, and I understand wanting to maintain the equipment and everything, but I do have some concern with excluding some members of the community based on their incomes from this. And $20 is a lot for some families.
Yeah, good question. So anybody during the week or weekend can use the school over there and use it at their charge. These are for tournaments. And so when a group wants to come and have people from all around come and do a competition where they do a full, we have teams, then we don't have anything in place for
From outside the community? Okay. Okay.
Any further questions or comments? Christy Rhodes,
Aye.
Fred Sotomayor,
Aye.
Louis Robbins,
Aye.
Kay Jones, aye. Motion carried. We are to spotlight on education. Oh, wait, yeah, spotlight on education.
Good evening. Tonight I get to talk to you about Day of the Child, a celebration that we had April 27th at the elementary school. And I had never heard of Children's Day or Day of the Child. So I Googled it and found out that it started in 1954 by the United Nations. And they put this into place because so many kids were working long hours and they were working under unsafe conditions. And they felt that every child deserved an education. And so that was the roots of this Day of the Child celebration. I also asked our Latino parent group why this event was important to them. And Francisca said, I remember that Children's Day was a celebration for us in our classroom. That day we would look presentable and happy. We wore uniforms and everyone brought their plate, cup, and spoon. We played games and they gave us gifts and we had a lot of fun. She remembers Day of the Child in Mexico as a child. Adriana said, as a child, I remember Children's Day very faintly, but the nostalgia still lingers. The aroma of homemade food brewing on the stovetop, hearing music, decorative banners full of various patterns and vibrant colors, enthusiastic voices, and the laughter of little children. Needless to say, it fills me with joy and excitement. And it's a courteous reminder to us as adults and parents that children are a joyous and special part of our society. So I just included some pictures of some of the things that went on that night. There were games. You could see the bouncing houses. Our high schoolers came and painted faces. But everybody's favorite had to be the piñatas. And there were 3 or 4 piñatas, and the kids had so much fun, and some adults too. I did not include the adults hitting the piñatas, but when those piñatas broke open, the roar was just, you could hear it everywhere. We also had in the gym booths that had games and crafts and music, lots of information, Guadalajara grill, fed everybody dinner, and inside and outside, there was just a lot of excitement. And you can see at the bottom picture, even the district office was involved in serving the food and being able to. The weather was absolutely perfect, and we estimate that in year 1, there were about 300 people. It was a fun night, but we have to give some recognition and special thanks to the Regional Education Network of the ESD, Maria Martinez. They funded the entire evening. Our high school volunteers who came and painted faces, and then especially our Latino parent group. Adriana, Fabiola, Rosalba, and Francisca. They planned it, they ran to get all of the supplies, they put it on, and they cleaned up after. One of the last comments that I'll leave you with is something that really touched my heart when I was talking to Adriana. And she said that it is so important to put this event on because it's important to build our community and share a little piece of what they're used to in Mexico. He said that although we all have different cultures and traditions, we all have the same objective in mind, and that's a positive upbringing for our children. And that really touched me, and I'm glad that I got a chance to see it in action and experience it and learn what Children's Day is all about and how meaningful it is to a percentage of our population here in Jefferson. And I can't wait until next year.
Thank you. We'll share the financial report with us.
Here. So as you know, this is May, so we've got this month and next month. We've already sent out our emails for spending because anything that's purchased this year has to be received by June 30. And we'll be closing the book, so we cut off spending as of May 5th, or in the, like the credit card. And then we are not expecting to put too many purchase orders on the system, but we are cleaning up any purchase orders that we're not going to utilize. And hopefully our ending fund balance will stay consistent and not a little bit higher. So that's really the update I have, other than our audit, our pre-audit's happening right now. It's normal that we have a pre-audit and final audit twice or once a year. 2 different, well, they're the same audit, it makes less work at the end of the year after we close if we set it in 2 sections. So is there any questions in regards to the financials?
No, I'd like to bring a note to the board of what I was looking at.
Okay. What page?
I believe it's page 31. I read out to it. Keep in mind that the district office electricity is not just this building, but it's also the building next door.
Yeah.
So we're going through this this heating modification. And I just want you guys to take note of the middle school electricity. Just for a month versus the high school, 11,000. I'm really anxious to see what this heating modification is going to be doing for us. And then the potential revenue savings that we're going to be experiencing as a result of the modifications that we're making. And I think in our board packet, it was explained to us that this modification will be done and completed by end of June, I think is what it was. So I think it's important that, you know, this is probably not a long-term fix. Or a total fix in totality. But hopefully we see a huge significant savings here in realizing what it is that we allocated monies for the control board and all that stuff. And if it doesn't make a big change, we've got some modeling coming our way that hopefully we can set our sights on potentially funding for additional modeling. It's additional fixes to the heating and air conditioning system there, so that we're not spending $11,000 just for electricity. And that's just electricity, that's not the gas that goes along with that. So something that we need to really be thinking about here in the near future. I'm piggybacking on Fred for his concerns. We need to focus on getting this down as best as we can in the future. And that's just my general observation. Over monitoring this over the past few years. So that's all I have to say about it.
Okay, is there any other questions? No? Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you. We're ready for the superintendent update.
Well, good evening, Chair Young, members of the board. We're in May. May means that we are sprinting the end of the school year. We are weeks away from summer break and schools are enjoying performances, events, field trips, dances, sporting events, celebrations, going to camp this week, doing all of these things again. And it's a pleasure to be over the COVID years and back to doing school the way it's meant to be. So a lot of joy and celebration in that regard. This week is Teacher Appreciation Week, as you know, and I want to take this opportunity to publicly thank our teaching staff. They give and give every day to their students in multiple ways. I'm so impressed with the teachers of Jefferson, and I'm honored to work with them and for them. Thank you, teachers. You are making a difference in the lives of Jefferson children every day, and you're incredible and valued. Alternative school, I'm happy to report tonight that that our alternative school is lifting off the ground and becoming a reality for next school year as of today. Copy of the flyer is in your folder. The program guide is available on our website, the front page to our home page, and so it's easily accessible. And we made the announcement to our families today. So when you have a chance, get on link and you'll see a Q&A and or an FAQ on there answering a lot of the questions of the program guide. Alternative pathway programs have been established to provide students a different option other than traditional high school or middle school. The goal of Jefferson High School is to ensure that we prepare all students for graduation and that all students have a choice of post-secondary option. The Alternative Pathways program is part of Jefferson High School, and students who enroll in Pathways are Jefferson High School students. We will provide not only support to meet academic goals, but also work with students to explore careers and interests. Our counselor will partner with both parents, guardians, and students to develop a graduation plan, and our Alternative Pathways teacher will regularly meet and work with students on meeting the goals. In the past, we used Odysseyware. We have made the change over to Graduation Alliance, since they have virtual teachers to work with our students. We will then have students enrolled in this program meet with JSD staff along the way to ensure that they have support and encouragement they need to be successful. The JMS virtual program has been established to provide students a different option than a traditional in-person model as well. The goal of Jefferson Middle School is to ensure that we prepare all students for success in high school and beyond. The virtual program and students who enroll in JMS virtual are Jefferson Middle School students. Our virtual program teacher will meet with students to monitor the progress and take attendance. And our new partnership with Florida Virtual means that we're going to offer many more elective options. And there's also daily check-ins for the JMS teacher. So what we like about it is not only are our students online getting support, but they also have that touchstone here with Jefferson staff. Make sure to encourage and to make sure that they're on track and doing more. So we're really excited to be offering this and feel that this is one way we can also reach out to our community and for those who are online charter schools and we've already have a plan for reaching out to them and already have started reaching out to our families and letting them know that this is an option for next year. Point North Communications. In your packet, you received 2 items. One was Point North report summary. The other was a data report from our technology communications department. And as you read, our efforts in communicating with our parents and community have increased substantially over the past year. Schools have dramatically increased their posts, and the district has proactively increased our posts with social media, as well as the parents directed via email. Communications is challenging in a small district where everyone wears multiple hats, and where there is no communications director or specialist. But as you can see in Point North's executive summary, we are improving and being acknowledged for that. Many thanks to Chris Shaw and Becca Mallory, and my thanks to the school administrators and the students of the high school who are actively engaged in increasing our communications visibility in our community. To address the opportunities found in the report, we're addressing them in the following way. We have designated Becca Mallory's role next year as a Point 5 communications specialist. This will help us greatly in making communications more timely, improve clarity, highlight engagement opportunities, etc., with our family. We have begun our weekly podcast. This is designed to help our parents hear about all the great programs and happenings in the district they might not normally hear about. This Friday, our episode will focus on libraries, and we interviewed our media specialist, Elena Gonzalez at Jefferson Elementary School. The following week after that, we interviewed several members of the drama club about the zombie prom play. And so we'll be interviewing them, and we've already done the program, but it's going to air in a couple of weeks. And we'll continue to do episodes that share our stories and accomplishments and promote school pride. Our goal and our hope is to go all the way through the summer and every week next fall throughout the years. And we're already establishing quite a few ideas for communicating, with different topics or episodes. Including one with our community. So if there's events that are happening downtown, the Heroes Day Parade, we're going to be asking them to sit with us and we can try to run for that day as well. Becca and Chris are creating a communications plan that will address the areas outlined in this report, and we've already started that process. We're going to be focusing on improving our communications even more in the coming year. And note in the packet, there was a placeholder for the plan. That wasn't the plan. So it wasn't supposed to be in the report. So the plan is in process of being made, and that'll be coming, and you'll see that here shortly. This summer, we are replacing our website, and we'll be moving from Blackboard to Final Site. And while Blackboard served us well in communicating, Final Site is going to allow us to be even stronger and more effective. And so we're really excited about what it can do and how it can take what it is we want to do and improve it. So that's happening this summer. School-based health and resource center. Last month, the board voted to accept a gift from Mountain West Enterprise. With this gift, we have the incredible opportunity to have a classroom renovated with private donations, and that work is currently underway. Regarding the student-based health resource center, I want to give the board and our community a few updates on progress. Last week, I had a very productive meeting with Pacific Source and Marion County Health and Human Services. Pacific Source is looking to make a financial contribution, and HHS is looking at ways they can support our center. They were very encouraging and spoke about the great need in our area. Today, I had conversations with Providence. Providence currently works with Newburgh School District's school-based health center, and they are helping Jervis with the development of there. Incidentally, Salem Kaiser and Jervis are in the process of creating centers just like ours, and these are beginning to be popular ways to serve students living in poverty and needing services. Our timing in terms of support from providers and financial support is spot on. Anyway, Providence wants to partner with us. They will be solidifying that support later this month internally, and then reaching back out to us to provide us with a letter of intent and a contract. Once this is done, Providence staff will partner with us in a town hall meeting to answer questions and address concerns. We are also beginning the process of applying for the SBHC with the Oregon Health Authority. And our timing is good there too. To apply, we need to have a medical provider in place. And as of today, Providence said we can go ahead and use their name in the application. As an interesting side note, Newburgh Center is 6 months old. They have found that the vast majority of their medical appointments involve students struggling with depression and anxiety, upper respiratory GI, influenza, and chronic disease like asthma, diabetes, and hypertension. And they also see a lot of social issues. So in 6 months, just starting this issue, and I spoke with Newburgh and I spoke with their health center folks. These are the kinds of medical issues that they're seeing most frequently. In terms of support from our community for services like this, we knew based on our needs assessment and in talking with community members that needs exist and that there would be support for services. Last board meeting, we had some voices expressing both support and concern and opposition. Some came from parents, others came from people outside our community. It's natural that there are questions and concerns with these kinds of efforts. So with that in mind, we sent out a follow-up survey to our families. We got 137 responses from parents and students. We got 42 staff responses. We got 5 responses in Spanish. As you can see in the pie charts in your folder, the support was overwhelmingly in favor. In fact, during our Day of the Child event, I took surveys out and talked with approximately 20 families. All of the people I spoke with completed the survey and they both voiced their support to me. I went to a Jefferson Community Partners meeting at the Concert House 2 weeks ago, described what we were wanting to do, and I was thanked for bringing this to our community, and I heard words like amazing and incredible. We will be spending the next couple months solidifying our partnerships and our donors. Before we're ready to begin services, we will hold a town hall meeting with Providence so that we can answer any questions and concerns that the community might have. And that is my report for tonight. Any questions?
What's the expected enrollment of the online? Do you have, I mean, I know it's probably, do you have any idea at all?
It would just be a real guess at this point, but you know, we could be looking from anywhere from say 5 to 20 at the middle school, and somewhere in the high school for 10 to 25 somewhere there. So it's really hard to know at this point. So we just started today, but we'll let you know as we start to see that take shape.
You know the cost of the district.
So we already have this in our budget from Odysseyware, and so it's just the same cost moving over to a different company. So it's not a new cost for us in terms of the software and the arrangement with the company that we're working with. Most of the computers, furniture, stuff like that's needed. It's going to be housed in the room adjacent over here. And it's already, it used to be set up for this very thing. So we're thinking we can put tables, desks, at a very minimal cost because we have a lot of the materials already. And then we already have staffing in, through our SIA funding, a lot of to help be the support. So I don't have a full dollar, aside a dollar amount to you, but we feel that we can do this reasonably, and it's being paid for primarily out of grant fund.
Brad, you've given a very good report on this, and I don't like surprising our superintendent with questions. That I couldn't have the time to, so I'm just gonna go about it this way. Can you explain to the board and our constituents the need, what's driving the alternative pathway in the direction that we're heading at this point in time, to help people understand why the district is going in this direction?
Yeah, sure. So when you're talking about an alternative pathway, we're really talking about a variety or a wide range of needs. It doesn't all fit into one situation. And so we have students who suffer from great anxiety to the point where they can't function in a regular class setting. For them, this is a great option. We have students who are currently in online charter school. And because we weren't able to offer one ourselves, they went to the school. And so we're hoping to by this that we can offer this to our own family, that they can come and get the same service from us. It helps families that are already considering, a different alternative placement option for their child to know that we have one. And that they can. There are certain students who might have a need for an alternative program that, whether it's a team decision, along with the parents, to be able to, that it's the least restrictive environment. And that's an option for them. That could be a possibility. So you could see a wide range of needs out there that, for whatever reason, students are not able to or desiring an in-person education. And so this is another way to offer a high school education here in Jefferson without having them leave it. And we also saw from COVID, there were just, most kids came back into in person. Some are still struggling. And then we have the possibility, I'm not saying we have this, but there's always the possibility for health reasons, that some students just, have to be online school due to health and the situation they have, the disease or whatever they might have. And so now we'll be able to provide that for them as well, if that would be a situation. That help?
Yes, absolutely. I just, I'm grateful for this alternative pathway. Graduated in 1979 in the high school that I went to, had an amazing alternative program for kids that needed services that weren't able to be provided in the general education setting. I'm glad that we're going to be able to continue to pursue the goal of educating our youth through the resources that we have previous and what you're putting forward now. I definitely welcome this pathway that the district is heading. I think it's brilliant. I think it's smart.
We really tried listening to, in our needs assessment and identifying, both from staff and from, our parents, that there's a need out there. And so what we try to do is find ways we can address the need, and if we can, then we move in that direction. So we're really pleased with this. We really think this is timely and necessary and needed, and I think it's going to make it.
Especially post-COVID, especially. All that I have for. Thank you, Brad. Thank you. Hope I didn't surprise you.
No.
So, yeah.
So my understanding of that is you believe that it's gonna add some additional electives or things like this to what we currently offer?
The middle school program has a broader selection of electives for those who are on that. Looks a little different. Honestly.
We're ready to move on to new business, and the first thing on new business is Crossfield Christian Soccer Cooperative Agreement. Brad, I need to ask a question. We did do an agreement, did we not, at the beginning of the school year with Crossfield for soccer?
Yes, and so it's a renewal. Now there's a form that we have to just update, and so this is an update saying we're still interested in working, still a need and still a need for that one. And we would agree to that.
I do know that, you need to do something, I understand it's page 66 down here, but I hope that contract isn't gonna have that. Particular number on page 66, right at the bottom, covering that numeric number 6. In the contract.
No,
It's a little clerical vision there.
The number that's messed up is the 6.
Yeah, it's just, no, page 66 is bleeding over into that. number 6,
Right.
So.
Okay. I will entertain the motion.
I move to approve the 3-year cooperative soccer agreement with Ross Hill Christian School through the year 2025 through 2026.
I'll second that.
All right, I have a motion and a second to approve the 3-year cooperative soccer agreement with Crossville Christian School through the school year 2025-2026. Chrissy Rhodes,
Aye.
Fred Sotomayor,
Aye.
Dewey Robbins,
I
Kay Jones, I motion carried. Next on our agenda is monthly board meeting and work session meeting times.
Would you like me to read what I
Yes,
have?
please.
District staff is requesting that board meeting times change to help reduce the workday and to actively promote a healthy work environment. Administrative staff already work long hours, and waiting until 6:30 makes a very long day, especially when these days can be stressful and hard and long. Staff recognize that some people may prefer 6:30 as a start time. However, it is unclear that moving meetings up an hour would adversely affect attendance. Keep in mind that we recently added the ability for our parents and community members to attend from their homes or their phones. We did not have that before. If they cannot attend in person right at 5:30, they can gain access using their phone until they arrive. Additionally, public comment is at the end of the meeting, and since most meetings exceed an hour, anyone wishing to make a comment could still attend the meeting. Staff is of the opinion that the board would appreciate the board trying to meet at an earlier time, which serves the best interest of most. If after several months we have multiple complaints from different people, then the board can revisit this issue and make a change if it deems necessary. In the meantime, we would signal to our staff that the board is open to adjusting their meeting schedule by an hour to accommodate their health.
Any comments or questions?
My only concern is how our executive sessions we plan.
It would be a decision of the board chair. And in most cases, the executive session would probably be at the end of the meeting rather than at the beginning, unless it's deemed necessary. And then it would be a decision of the board to make if we're going to modify what we're going to be doing.
I'm not opposed to this. But I'm wondering if we should not potentially pull this over
Can we get a motion before we have our
I'm sorry,
discussion?
yes, I will make the motion. I move to approve the Jefferson School District calendar for the, excuse me, I move to approve changing the regular monthly board meeting start times to 5:30 p.m. instead of 6:30 p.m. with the work sessions and executive session times to be determined upon.
Second motion.
Thank you. And now we can go on with the discussion, Chris.
I completely have, I'm okay for this. I completely understand the need of our staff. You know, I want to get home like everybody else does. Yeah, it's one meeting out of the month and so on. And we, the board, can certainly make concessions. But I'm wondering if, seeing something, we have two board members that are leaving. Our new current board members coming on are of the opinion and the reason that they ran for the board was because it met the timelines based upon our current meetings. So I don't know how this is going to impact them is my only concern. Otherwise, I am for this 100%.
Any other comments or discussion?
What are you proposing? Tracy,
Yeah, we've got one more school board, but actually it would be two. It would probably be something that we would take up in the July board meeting. So we technically got one school board meeting left this fiscal year. I don't know. I don't know if I'm reaching far. I'm a considerate person. I try to consider everybody's needs. So we have the vote tonight, and if it's undoable, then there's only two options: you go back and change it back. When the new board takes seat, or if the majority states that it needs to stay this way, it can stay this way. It's nothing that's that can't be dealt with in the future. So I'm certain that the board could go ahead and move forward tonight. And if there's problems with it, it can be readdressed when the new board takes, when the new board forms, and then two new board members.
Superintendent Gaitman.
I was wondering if just had a question. I was wondering if we could try to see how it functions for a few months. And that would allow us to feel and understand it in June, and then the new board can also experience it. And then if it's something that just, you know, there's a lot of problems with it, they can revisit and change it back. You know, but it would allow us some time to be able to try it out to see how it works.
We could put a time period on it. This one quarter,
When you pass it, and then revisit it if it's not working.
yeah.
And that's the way it's written here anyways.
Any other comments from the board? And we are voting on to approve the changing of the regular monthly board meeting start time to 5:30 p.m. instead of 6:30 p.m. with work sessions, executive session times to be determined as we upon the need. Tracy Rowe,
Aye.
Fred Sotomayor,
Aye.
Julie Robbins,
Aye.
Kate Jones, aye. Carried. Next up is our 2023-2024 Jefferson School District calendar. I want to compliment the committee that worked on this. When I was a kid, they decided school started on this date if everybody started on the same day. And they said school ends on this date and everybody got off at the same time. And I find this calendar making use of meeting the needs of the different levels of our schools and our students and meeting the needs of our staff so that they have the in-service time they need and the work time that they need.
I move to approve the Garrison School District calendar for the 2023-2024 school year.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Fred. Any discussion?
Well, I'll give you my annual. I'll give you my annual spiel on it. I hear a lot. Not every year, but I still hear it this year. About the time that is being spent towards Thanksgiving. And not taking into consideration, we've had times where we've had to extend because of snow days. So how, I would question again. How many instructional hours are in this, and do we meet that criteria, and how much of a buffer do we have?
We do. We have, let me just back up a minute and say that, the calendar seems to get more complicated each year. And we have a committee now, whereas when I first started, we didn't have a committee. So now we have a committee that works with our associations and all the administrators. We try to there's a lot of discussions and questions. And so I feel really proud of the work that this team has done and the committee has done on this. I think one of the primary things that they look at, and I know in talking with Hattie, that we have to meet certain hours, and that those we fall, and we have buffers in for all this time. So that issue is not an issue. We can even have a snow day or two and not have to make it up. We have enough hours in that way. Beyond that, we would have to definitely make it up. And that's the way it is each year. And so it kind of depends on the severity of the weather. But this year we were able to make it without having to extend our year. But anyway.
Yeah, well, now that you said that, I'm curious if the community was worried about what Tracy Rose and said about that. So, that's all I have. Okay, thank you.
Fred?
I just want to thank whoever was involved in putting this together. It looks fun doing this. So
No, it doesn't.
I'm glad it wasn't me. No, I think it was done great, and whoever did should really get
Let's vote then. I move, we have a motion to move to approve the school district calendar for 2023-2024. Tracy Rhodes,
Bye.
Fred Stonemeyer,
Aye.
Jimmy Robbins,
Aye.
Kay Jones, aye. We move on to our next information piece and motion that we're coming up with, JMS and JHS science curriculum adoption.
Okay. I asked Mr. Jancy to join us. He has done a lot of the legwork on making the pilot fruition. I'm going to read the report so that the community can hear as well. And then I brought up Scott in case of questions. So this is our science adoption and curriculum adoption for 23-24. This is the last year from ODE standpoint to adopt science curriculum. Policy 2A, selection use of instructional materials, states the board believes that proper care and judgment should be exercised in selecting basic instructional materials for student use. While the board retains the authority to approve district basic instructional material adoptions, it authorizes the superintendent to develop and implement procedures governing how selections are determined. Such procedures will provide for staff, parents, and community involvement through such means as building site councils and employ suitable selection criteria to ensure that the recommended instructional materials will meet the needs of the program, students, teachers, and community. The recommended instructional materials will be free of racial, national origin, religious, disability, age, marital status, sexual bias, or sexual orientation discrimination. The instructional material will contain appropriate readability levels, support the district's adopted curriculum content, provide ease of teacher use, be attractive and durable, and be purchased at a reasonable cost. All basic instructional materials recommended for adoption need to be approved for use by the board. The procedures governing how selections are determined include checking with the ODE to see the approved recommended list of publishers, setting up meetings with approved publishers to view the materials and ask essential questions. 3, piloting materials from 1 or 2 companies over a span of a semester, seeking input from staff and parents and ensuring that the materials meet the criteria under Division 22, OAR 581-022-2350. And then 4, obtain board approval. So the background for this. All school districts in Oregon are required to adopt new science curriculum between 2017 and 2023. In the fall of 2021, the JSD superintendent, JSD principals, and middle school science teachers consulted with book companies to determine their offerings and met with the following companies to learn more about their science offering: Discovery Education, Science Textbook, Savas, formerly Pearson, Discovery Science, and Houghton Mifflin Harcourt, Science Function. This pre-evaluation process continued through the spring of 2022, and the administrators, with input from teachers, decided to pilot HMH in the fall of 2022 and Savas in the spring of 2023 in grades 6 through 8 and for biology at the high school level. HMH provided online training for middle school teachers before school started in September 2022, with plans for the high school biology teacher to join them soon. However, technical difficulties plagued this pilot from the start, and the online portion of this platform proved to be difficult in many aspects, from initial rostering of students to glitchy communication with teachers' Google Classroom site. Serious delays also occurred in receiving the hard copies of textbooks and the promised science kits. Even after repeated phone calls to the company reps and many frustrating attempts to resolve the technical issues, these difficulties persisted more than a month after school had started. While we did eventually receive the hard copies, technical issues with the digital platform continued to cause issues, and the inability to sync with Google Classroom proved to be a fatal flaw. Due to these many issues, our middle school teachers recommended that the high school hold off on initiating this pilot. Therefore, at the 6-week mark of the first quarter, middle school science teachers asked if JMS would move directly to the next pilot for quarter 2 instead of waiting until the semester. The middle school principal checked with Savas to see if they could get us the student text and set up the technical portions, and this company proved to be extremely quick and responsive to requests, and the middle school was able to receive the text and set up digital classrooms at the start of quarter 2. Savas's Discovery Science has been extremely well received by middle school teachers, and the technical issues were very minor and quickly resolved. The online portion of Discovery Science coordinates well with Google Classroom, and the curriculum has been easy to use, relevant, and well received by teachers and students. Teachers' overwhelming choice for moving forward is with Savas. Savas biology has also been well received at the high school. We've had a few technical problems. The one technical issue we did have was resolved in a timely manner. The online portion is accessible, and students have used both online and the textbook. Students who needed were also able to access the text in Spanish, providing additional support for learning. The choice is to move forward with Savas. Community input. In an attempt to provide Jefferson community with a chance to examine the Savas curriculum, Jefferson Middle School displayed these science materials in the JMS library on April 25th, 26th, and into the evening of the 27th. Sign-up sheets and questionnaires were available in English and Spanish, and JMS, JHS, and the district advertised these times through their Facebook pages and in direct emails to families. The superintendent also publicized these times at the April board meeting. The final recommendation. The district has done its due diligence in following instructional materials from the Oregon Department of Education, Division 22 requirements. It is our recommendation to the Board of Education to move forward and approve the adoption and purchase of the Savas Elevate Science curriculum for science in grades 6 through 8 and for biology and history.
If we can motion. Yes. Can we do this?
I move to approve the SWOT science curriculum as the new Jefferson Middle School science curriculum.
Second.
I'll second that motion.
Are there any questions for,
Amendment to the motion. Sign, Salas Miller and the Vine Biology Crew.
That's for the high school.
that's the second one.
That's the second motion. The motion above is that I just made.
Oh, I didn't see that. I apologize.
Oh, no problem. I don't read it, right?
All right.
These eyes are getting big.
Any questions for Mr. Jansen?
Mr. Dancy, the materials were, provided for community input on April 25th, 26th, and then the evening on the 27th. Was there any staff, members available at that campus to proxy that, answer questions, things of that sort? And question number 2 is, how many, community members, in your recollection, showed up for viewing of this material, these materials?
So yes, to the first question, yes, there were school staff available all the time, including me. I stated on when the meeting that it was available. However, the answer to your second question is no. Even though we advertised it in Facebook, we sent out direct email to parents. It was advertised to it. We did not have any parents or community members show up and look at it.
Okay. And the second part of my question is this: in Brad's report, and I don't know who wants to answer this question, but in light of the answer to your previous question, I've got to ask. Since this science curriculum and biology curriculum is set out there in front of us, and we recommended instructional materials will be free of racial, national origin, religious, disability, age, and marital status. And I put in parentheses, sexual bias or sexual orientation discrimination. Can you please tell me, one of you, what that term means?
Which term?
Sexual bias or sexual orientation discrimination.
I would just say that, even though this is in the, in our policy, the Oregon Department of Education is presented with materials from different companies, and have to meet their criteria, which meets our criteria. So when they look through and do an assessment, they're making sure that there's nothing that's that would no wording, no phrasing that would be biased towards any student, which you wouldn't see in today's text. But that's just, you know, they want to make sure that you know, there's nothing there but where any group would feel discriminated. Like I said, it's not it wouldn't be an issue in today's world, but it would be improved curriculum that they have.
Any other board comments or questions?
Can I make a comment?
Yes, you
I
may.
would say this is my 5th year here, and my science team has been begging for a new curriculum all 5 years that I've been here. The material we had is, I think it was probably 15 or 20 years old. Before we got this, the textbooks were falling apart. And they were in very poor condition. Our teachers were doing, they were coming up with much of the instructional materials. They were putting a lot of effort into coming up with more relevant, more interesting materials. So they basically been asking every year that I've been if we could get something new. So I feel like we did a really good process. We listened to, so we actually heard the official spiel from 3 companies. I did a lot of research. My teachers helped me look into all the different companies available out there. We looked through the approved list. I feel like we had a very good pilot. I think it was good that we had a fail at first because we saw all the problems. We saw what we didn't want. And like we said in here, since COVID, before COVID happened, we were hoping to move all of our students our teachers onto the Google Classroom site, so that when kids are gone for a week, or they're on vacation, or they're sick, they can still access all of the materials, through their Google Classroom. That for us was a failed law. It did not play well, the first one did not play well with Google Classroom, they couldn't assign assignments, and they couldn't make connections with that. That was just one of the many flaws, but, so we're very happy with Savas. The teachers from the first week were so much happier than they were with the other ones. So we feel like it was a robust process in choosing, and we feel like it was a very good piloting process too, to show us what didn't work first, and then to show us to have a contract to show us really how much better the second company did. The materials themselves we felt were pretty equal. They wanted to go with discrete earth, physical, and life sciences. You can choose to have them mixed up a little by little, but our teachers wanted to go kind of the traditional 3 discrete sciences. So the materials themselves were pretty equal as far as their content, but it is just the delivery system, working with the company, the online. Again, because of the new realities, things need to be online, and kids need to be able to access. But they also, one thing our teacher said at the beginning, a lot of companies now do not offer physical textbooks anymore. They want you only to go online. And through COVID, our teachers and our students were saying, we're sick of being on the computer all the time. And some students do better with a physical textbook. And so what we really like about this curriculum that we've chosen is you have both options. And as the high school said, we have newcomer Spanish speakers, and so they can also access this, and they can access materials online in Spanish too. So we feel like it's a win-win. If we adopt this, my teachers will be very happy, and thank you for this.
My apologies, Mr. Jancy, for not being, I absolutely believe that the district put out information that was attainable to me. So that I could have came down here April 25th, 26th, or the 27th. My question is any of the village board members reviewed this to these materials?
I did.
No, but I've sat through state adoptions of math curriculum in the past at the state level, where they look for all of the different reasons that you would deny it. And I trust the system of coming up with curriculum to make available to the different schools.
Well, in light of being a sacrificial lamb, which I don't want to, because my words would probably not be appreciated by some people out there. What's more important to me, or more glaring to me, is that when we're adopting curriculum, we're the board and approve curriculum, yet we have not reviewed it or visited the classrooms where it was being highlighted. And we're charged with certain aspects of supporting our school district as board members, and it's important that we delay this vote until board members can view the materials. Of course, I'm not asking for the district to set aside a special time for us to review this material or to bring the materials to the district meeting. I think it's our responsibility to take our time to do that on that one. Also, cautioning against having two board members together in a meeting or location. So.
Thank you for your comments, Tracy. I'm going to disagree with you on that, because we have hired an administrator, our superintendent. We have hired our administrator teams, our principals, and they use their professional expertise on the curriculum. Our principals have engaged with their professionals who teach the subject matter. And I believe with the success that they've had, the fact that they had a failure first with one of the curriculums they were piloting. I'm pleased that the last 2 times we've adopted in this district under Superintendent Kaitner, we have piloted the curriculums prior to adoption. And parents have had input along the way, as well as our staff members. And so for that, I feel very positive in adopting this curriculum, so purchases can be made in a timely manner so that they're prepared to start the school year in September with the new curriculum.
I guess it is. I'll ask the specific questions. Does this particular curriculum lend to educating our students around gender transition?
I do not believe so. I do not believe there is any section around that. It's earth, physical, and life science.
No, that's part of physical, and that's also part of life science. Unless I'm wrong.
I've reviewed the material there's, from my recollection, there was no section at all on what we just mentioned.
Okay.
Any other board members?
I just have a question. Is there anything you don't like about it? Or do you see some thing that might come up or something that we should,
Again, I would just say we've been pretty happy with Savas. Some of the things that are super important are that we want a physical textbook for the kids to be able to have in their hands and use. And we wanted the online technical support that is responsive. So, like I said, the first company, even Roth, that was a nightmare to get our kids rostered in there. So you can't assign assignments and you can't. And so our technical people, Becca and Chris, spent hours trying to get it ironed out. The second company has been so much better. So I would say, there's really, I do not have any red flags with this. The big company's done a great pilot, the second one.
What would the ramifications be? You said you have quite a physical books now, and so would it be possible, and what would the ramifications be for us to get a copy of that book and have another month to review it before voting on this?
For me, it's no problem to get you the book. I don't know as far as waiting and ordering that would be that.
There's a financial piece to it, so we want to make sure that we pay for this before the new year budget, because we have a lot of certain funding for this that we haven't allotted or put in our budget for next year. So the fee for this is very reasonable, but we're wanting to pay it this month.
Patty, when do the books close?
June 30, but we have to receive the merchandise before June 30, so it can be paid for in this fiscal year. If we receive it July 1, it'll have to be paid for next fiscal year, and we budgeted for the science curriculum this year. Yeah.
you don't see any problem with if we passed it tonight, being able to get it in the time frame?
No, we still have 2 months to get the physical books in hand to be able to pay for it.
What are you said we have to receive them before June 30th, whatever that is.
But that gives us 60 days, and if they understand that we have to receive it before June 30, they will get it there.
The reason I asked is if we did vote on this next month instead of this month, but still leave us some time to receive.
I don't think so. That would leave us probably 2.5 months. By the time we double check and got the order in, I don't think it would be feasible, and we would be taking the chance of having to pay for it next year out of a budget that we didn't budget for it. So, excuse me.
And be out of compliance, correct?
Potentially, yeah. The spending authority, you never want to spend over what you allocated in your budget ever. So.
So we're happy to, give you a book. We could look at it, I feel confident.
It's not your guys' fault, it's my bad. It's, I wanna take ownership, I haven't seen this. Okay? That's where rubber meets the road with me. I'm very disappointed in myself. And I also feel like we're at the ninth or at the 11th hour of something as well, so.
Well, yeah, we see it as, we're right on schedule, right on time to purchase, with an approval tonight, but if there's, we also feel confident that once you see the textbook, you're gonna love it, so, we're happy to show you a copy or come in and see it, or whatever works best in school, that, we can make that available to you, but we would appreciate a passing tonight so that we can order.
All right, we're ready to vote in this case to approve the Savas science curriculum for the Jefferson Middle School science curriculum. Dewey Robbins.
Aye.
Fred Sotomayor.
Aye.
Tracy Rowe.
Aye.
Kay Jones, aye. Motion carries. The second motion about science.
I move to approve Sebastian Miller and the Ryan and the Bean biology curriculum as the new Jefferson High School biology curriculum.
Any discussion?
Give me a second.
Oh, yes.
I will second.
Thank you, Fred.
You're welcome.
Is Laura Pierce Cummings here? Yeah. Laura, sorry. So basically, same question, when it comes to sexual bias or sexual discrimination, sexual orientation and discrimination, we see anything in the biology textbook that lends to educating our kids about gender reassignment, things of that sort.
Any other questions or comments? Then we'll go for a vote. Thank you. To approve the Savas Miller Levin biology curriculum as the new Jefferson High School biology curriculum. Dewey Robbins.
Aye.
Fred Sotomayor.
Aye.
Tracy Rowe.
Aye.
Kate Jones, aye. Motion carries. We need to make an adjustment to our budget committee, which is next on our agenda.
Okay, something been on my mind, the gentleman came in after the meeting, and I don't know if you wanted to speak or he knows that, how you make those announcements about people who want to speak.
I haven't got to that yet,
Okay.
so. Oh, wait, I'm on here. No,
WSD board, right?
oh, the WDSP, I'm sorry. We need to vote for a member of the Willamette Educational Service Board, and there is one nominee for our zone, and that's Alfonso Olivares. And he is from Central School District.
I move to elect Alonso Oliveras serve on the Willamette JSD Board of Directors to serve a 4-year term starting on July 1st of 2023.
Thank you. Any discussion?
All I want to say is he's not new to this, he's been doing it for quite a few years.
Wonderful. All right. So I will ask for the vote. Tracy Rowe,
Aye.
Fred Sotomayor,
Aye.
Dewey Robbins,
Aye.
Kay Jones, votes aye, motion carried. Now we come to the budget committee. since we voted for this one budget committee member to join our budget committee, they have since become an employee to the district. So we have one final motion.
I move to remove Linda Myers, current employee of the Jefferson School District, and reinstate Bill Linhart as the Jefferson School District Budget Committee member for the remainder of the school year ending June 30th, 2023.
Second.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion?
So I would have somebody that does that. It's good.
Seeing none. Tracy Rowe,
Aye.
Fred Stottlemyre,
Aye.
Dewey Robbins,
Aye.
Kay Jones votes aye. And we are coming up on comments from the audience. Would you be kind enough to state your name and your address, please? Thank you.
I'm sorry, those of your job. I think Google Street. Just a couple questions that I jotted down for tonight's discussion. First, Superintendent, the podcast, I had a chance to listen to the one you put out last week. I'm just curious, what kind of engagement are you doing on that? Are you able to see downloads and maybe people are actually listening to that?
Two pieces here, Tom. One is, to answer your question, I can't see the statistics. Just got a report today, and so it's, we're seeing some good interaction, that's great. The other piece is just a business or a board protocol thing. It's comment piece is not a give and take.
Oh, okay.
And so,
It's my first time, I'm sorry.
yeah, that's right. That's right. Not trying to make you feel uncomfortable. But this, it's more of a time just to let us know what's on your mind, and then I'm happy to connect with you afterwards.
Sure. Okay, I'll just get the rest of them, then we can take things offline then. Because they were mostly just questions around some of those items. School boards, the Health Resource Center, I was curious if there's gonna be public tours of the health center or pictures or videos as things are begin updating, and if we can get this made public. Another comment would be, and that might be more for Doug, but just the online alternative enrollment. Does that have any effects on our headcount or OSA classification? I think we're gonna have to do the classification session, I think this year or next year, right? Two years out, just as far as our sports go. We're hoping to have a good football season, where our headcount's at right now, or the people that have shown interest. But we did petition in the fall, or in the spring, moved down to 2A football based off last year's numbers of 14 players. So just curious how that would fall in line with that stuff. And then another follow-up would be, I don't know who controls the curriculum development design or anything like that. 10, 15 years for a science program seems like forever. You know, stuff doesn't change that often in the mathematics world and the science world. But I've been in technology for the last 20 years, and I've gone from a flip phone that couldn't do pictures to I have the entire world in my hand right now in the last 20 years. So there's been a lot of science and that changes. So I don't know what was in those books, but a lot of changes or 10, 15 years seems like forever. So the comment I guess would be, is there a current review process for current curriculum, and what's the process to get that updated and changed? So we could say if they, I think like a 3 to 5 year window would probably be a good time for that. But those are my comments on the next information. So thank you for this.
Thank you. All right, word comments. Fred, we'll start with you. Do you have any comments for tonight?
Sure. I had the opportunity to visit the high school twice since our last board meeting. I was just sitting here thinking about it. One visit made me poor and one visit made me rich. So, I think some of us in this room know why I got poor at one of them, but So, no, I go to the Booster Club auction, which was great, seemed well attended and it definitely made me poor. That one did, but the more, enriching, opportunity that I had was to go to the career fair. At the high school, and I was pretty darn impressed, actually. A good, great bunch of kids came through, asking good questions. My only word of advice would be that, when they all ask you a great question, well, how much money? I love talking about money. I'm not here to plug my company or anything like that, but I love talking about money. And when I asked them, well, what's good money to you? There's kind of a stutter and a stall there a little bit, so I don't know if we have any classes that have them find an apartment or living expenses or anything like that. And they on the hourly wage, they were pleasantly surprised with the unnamed company. I was just really impressed with their demeanor, eye contact, handshakes. Some of the things that are important in my world that, I can carry them a long way. They gave off a really great first impression. So, great job on career fair and everything else there. It was a great event. So, maybe richer more than I got for it. So it was a total. It was a wash. No, it's no, I came out ahead of you. Thank you.
Yeah, I also attended that, and it was a good event. There was good interaction all the way around. The vibe was good. I think gating was off a little bit this year, but we'll see what the final numbers are. I appreciate the hard work that was put into the curriculum part of things, and we're already looking to adopt and those things from that. I would partner with Tracy on some of the things that he's asking about. So my concerns with that with you, Tracy. For that, I appreciate the input, but I'm hoping the same thing for football next year. So
Pretty good. 28 interested, or 28 tried on helmets and got better ground, so
there we go.
Tracy, any comments?
Double.
No, I just want our staff to know that I'm very pleased with how you are taking a hold of the challenges in today's education. And legislature or education department, red tape is put out there, the changes, all that stuff. Administrative office out there trying to greatly improve communication. I'm very pleased to see the growth in that area. I'm grateful that we bolstered that with Becca, helping Chris. Kathy did a report on the Day of the Child. That was cool. And I watched the video that my daughter-in-law, ex-daughter-in-law posted up. And sorry to say, I was laying underneath my truck Saturday, working on it, and went into Sunday, and I need my truck, so I wasn't able to make it to the athletic boosters dinner and fundraising. So something that's got my heart because I helped start that years ago. And it's definitely grown and improved, and Joe, my understanding is that Joe is stepping down. I hope that there's somebody in the community who is capable and willing to pick up that flagging period, because it's very much necessary and appreciated. I think I can't emphasize the appreciated aspect of that and everything that went into that event this year and years previous, and what it's meant for our student athletes. So
Thanks, Joe and Debbie.
What's that?
Thanks, Joe and Debbie, and a lot of the other people that were involved in it. They've done a miraculous job.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
For me, I've had a really good time. I attended the Day of the Child event and it was wonderful. And it was great to see all the people and the kids having fun and feeling having fun. I also watched the morning news on the Thursday before the Ag Fest and got to watch Rick Martin shear a sheep while they interviewed a student from Jefferson High School. And that was really fun to see that. Our upcoming meeting, we have our budget committee meeting May 17th, training at 5 and then 6 for the actual meeting. And then our next board meeting will be June 12th at 5:30 during the board.
also have the, policy committee.
Yeah, policy committee coming up on.
Policies that were previously provided to you guys in your packet.
All right, any other comments or business? Seeing none, I will adjourn the meeting at 7:51.